Hey guys, welcome to another STEDI tutorial. You're watching this video, probably wondering, should I buy this bracket? Or you've already got one. So I'll run through the easiest and the most effortless way to install this bracket. You can go all out and remove the bumper. I'm going to show you, it's a little bit more tricky, but it's far easier than removing the bumper. So first thing is lift the bonnet. Toyotas are really easy, they've got really good clips. So no screwdriver required. You just need to, in the center of this clip here, little mushroom clips, you just push the center down. They'll just depress in there. Put your hand or finger over the top, grab the panel and just pull up. Make sure you don't lose that. It'll go down the engine bay with the rest of your 10mm socket. So go along and push them up. Lift this up, that's just sitting there now. Put that to the side. The brackets are designed for a 28-inch light bar. You want to slip that in and just sit it just behind this number plate area, just to sit it just here. There's a little pocket there you can sit the light in, but we'll get that in first. For this installation, we are putting in an ST 4K 28-inch. So just very carefully slot that down into place. Put your hand down there. Hold it and drop it in. Like I said at the start, you could go all out, remove this. It could be the easiest option if you already have the front end off, but in the driveway, installation in the driveway, just drop that light bar down there, get it into the front of this plastic here, and then we'll get our bolt plates. So there are two of them. So your brackets here, that's how they'll sit on the vehicle. So you want them to step outwards to the outside of the vehicle, and you do have two bolting plates, like so. The wire here, I'll explain in a moment, that is for you to hold on to and to get it inside the channel. So the radiator support panel on the bottom, just underneath the intercooler, there is a pocket. It's relatively deep. It is about the depth of your fingers here, so about 50, 60, 70mm long. You want to hold onto that wire, get it into the channel. This is the tricky part. You want to get it into the channel and line up at least one of these threaded bolts here, get it into the hole, get it around the front, hold onto it, and then you can manipulate the plate from the outside here. Once that's through, then you can offer the plate to it. So if you have a close look in here, on the passenger side, the Australian passenger side, you'll see these two holes here next to this clip. Depending on the light bar and your maximum outward adjustment, this may need to unclip. These two holes here, you'll need to offer this plate all the way around the back. The easiest way would be for that wire to point toward the center of the vehicle. Get all the way around the back. We're going to offer these brackets into place, but I just want to take a moment to explain why some of these holes are slotted. So on the front of the vehicle here, once it's bolted into place, we have designed this to suit two of our light bars, the ST 4K 28-inch and our ST 3303 Pro 28-inch. There is a slight variance in the length of those, so we've taken it up with these slotted holes here, so you can slot them inwards and outwards. The other really good feature of this bracket is it fits all N80 Hilux. So it doesn't matter whether you have a base model 2015 model or your newest 2022 model like this one here. Toyota went through a couple of facelifts. So you've got your original one, what we refer to as your short grille. So your upper grille here, it was typically a chrome grille. It was very short and it had a very big opening here. Your 2019 updates had your original headlights from the 2015, and they went to this opening here was in a slightly different position. It was actually lower. This model here, the latest 2022, it's somewhere in between. It's actually slightly higher than the others. There are a couple of differences, but this one, it's actually a little bit higher. So on this model, you'll find that once the bracket is bolted into place, you'll have the light bar all the way at the top of this slot. On your other models, you can drop it all the way down. So there's a little bit of fine tuning depending on what vehicle you have. In, out, so you want to get that light bar centered. You can use these little grille openings here just to center the light bar left and right. And once you're doing your final set for your height, you don't want the light bar sitting on a big angle like this. So you just want to get it nicely lined up with the grills here. Next step is to drop this into place. So without knocking out that bolting plate that we've just dropped in earlier, just get your hand on the back, or you can hold that wire and just get that hook into place. Like so. You can sit there, be careful. So with the driver's side bolting plate here, these are a specific length for a reason. So that channel section that we're inserting this plate into, on the driver's side there is a bit of sheet metal that this needs to slip behind. So what you're going to do is slip that into the channel section from behind, slide it along behind that sheet metal and line up that and then push it into place. And the same as before, once you get one into place, you'll want to grab it from the front and then with this hand line up the other one, or twist it with this until it pops into place. So you'll see it sort of line up with a hole. You can get behind on the wire or on the plate and then push it through, and then we'll install the bracket. So once it goes in, there's also another note that I want to be very, very clear about. So we'll jump across to the other side in a moment once both are nipped up into place. This wire, we definitely don't want that touching the aircon condenser behind, or the radiator, or any other fins that are behind depending on your model. So once it's bolted into place, the idea is they're only just tack welded, is to snap them off. You'll never have to remove this bracket again unless you're putting a bull bar or a hidden windshield. Depends what you're putting onto the front later on, but most people once they install this, you probably never have to touch it again. So what you want to do is snap this out off completely. So we don't want that digging into any cooling system. So we just want to drop this down, as I mentioned, into this little C channel. The cameraman's having a bit of a hard time filming. We want to grab the other brackets, slot that into place, and very carefully get that onto the threads without dropping the plate in. So we can hold one thread while we offer it to the other thread. A little bit more. We want a bit of movement there. So the two side bolts with the spring washers and flat washers that come with your light bar kit, these are not included with the bracket kit. Grab one for the moment. If you remember, we've popped this light bar all the way down in this plastic section waiting for us for this moment. Easiest way is we just want to get one side up and we'll get one bolt started, and then at least we'll be into the slot, threaded in by hand until it's firm. So that's now in one slot. You want to make sure those brackets are pushed all the way across. Depending on the length of your light bar, like I mentioned at the beginning, we may need to pop this plastic clip off. The SD4K is our longer version, so we may need to just pop that off momentarily. Right, so now we have both bolted up. So if we jump around on the front, we obviously can't see the light bar, hence why we've got the slotted holes. We're going to pull it all the way up. So this is going to be personal preference, but what we want to do is set the height of the light within the grille first, keeping in mind that the tightness that you have the brackets to the car is going to affect the height as well. But what we can do is get this as close as possible to the opening. We can always fine adjust it. So we'll nip up the bolts here. I've got the brackets semi-firm to the vehicle with the ability to still move them. So there's going to be a little bit of sag in those brackets. We'll get this as high as we want it. Like I said, each Hilux model is going to be different for you. We'll tighten this up now. So just nip those up. That's starting to look really good. Next step is you want your left and right. That actually looks quite good. Only a little bit to the passenger side. So just wiggle the whole lot across. Have another look. And that is pretty much spot on. I like to start on the driver's side. It does have the bolting plates and the bolt holes much wider than the other side, so we can lock this side off. Get those nice and firm. And then the other side, this bracket, because these two bolts are really close together and the bracket's so wide, you might just have to tilt this so this vertical face here and the end face are on a vertical plane, so nice and plumb. Nice and firm. So what you want to do now is check that it is nice and plumb. So these brackets are nice and tight to the vehicle now. Jump around the front, and it's pretty much eyeing it off. A level isn't going to help you here because if the car is on an angle, you put the level on, the light bar is going to look odd. So if we want to look, the camera can pick this up. If you get nice and flush with the bottom of the reflector here, so that chrome section there, look from probably a distance, couple meters. I can see here that the passenger side probably needs to come up about 1 or 2 mil, probably not much. Once you're happy, which I am, it looks really good, we'll tighten everything up. Like all lights, we want to make sure that it's aimed down the road, not at the road, not at the sky, perfectly down the road. So go out at night, nice flat quiet road, you want to just tilt this light so the spot optic It'll be quite noticeable once it's installed and lit up. You'll see that there is a very noticeable spot optic down the road. This light shoots many hundred meters down the road, so the slightest sort of angle upward, 1 or 2 degrees, you'll see it up into the sky, or you'll see it right on the ground. So just take your time with this step. Once you get it perfect, you'll have the full benefit of the light bar. Obviously go out there with an Allen key, reach in there, tighten it up. We're going to drop that back into place. Really easy, self-explanatory. These clips, if you're not aware, you don't need any tools. They're really cool clips. Just grab the top of the mushroom, put a little bit of pressure on them, and you want that back through. So when this pin pushes through, it'll actually flare these little tabs outwards. So you push that. I always give that a squeeze, and then once you offer it to a hole, lean it in place, squash 1 or 2 of those little tabs, and then the other side will go in, and you just want that to go flat. If you push it too far, you'll find that as you're driving down the road, you're going to lose clips. So lean it into place, get it nice and flat, and that is clipped into place.